Hello from the front of my camper van. Today I'm going to talk to you about electricity. Now there's two things when you do a camper van journey which are in short supply. One's water and the other one's electricity. Now if you're the sort of person who just takes your van from your home to a campsite and then is on electrical hookup all the time, this is not for you. Having said that, I do wish to point out that I also occasionally use electrical hookup, and it is important for me, but for reasons which I will now get on to explain. Now, you should have a leisure battery in your car, and if you don't, you're really asking for trouble. If you're using the starter battery to run your appliances off, then sooner or later that starter battery is going to give up. Not only that, but you're actually shortening the life of it. A starter battery is not designed for running appliances off. The difference between a starter battery and a leisure battery is basically a starter battery is like a big lump of lead that gives a huge wallop of power when it's needed to get the car running, and a leisure battery is sort of thin slivers of lead which give a small trickle charge when it's needed. Takes a very long time to recharge a leisure battery. A starter battery can be charged up in a couple of minutes of driving, if that, a few seconds of driving really. A leisure battery will take possibly around 5 hours of driving to actually charge, and to get fully charged you're possibly even looking at 24 hours on hookup. Now the normal leisure batteries are usually between 80 and 110 ampere hours, but unfortunately they only give half. As a general rule, there are some good ones now which will give you a full 100% of power, but normally they only give half of the power which they have on them. So an 80 ampere hour battery will effectively only give you 40 ampere hours. Now if a computer's running at 3.5 ampere hours and allowing for inefficiencies, you're probably only going to get 8 to 10 hours use of a computer when it's connected. Now that is not a lot. So what can you do to actually to get more power? Well, the first thing you can do is to think of what your other uses are. For example, lighting. Now what I've got this thing here which was a great buy for the camper van. I've got a light up here and I've got a torch. I paid £20 for this, I think, I'm not absolutely certain of the price now. It's Halfords in the UK, and this has been one of my best friends when I've been camping. The reason for it is it saves a huge amount of wear on the battery. It's rechargeable, and when I bought it, it lasted for ages and ages. Now it's only lasts for 2 or 3 hours. It's been beaten around a lot. Unfortunately, in my Volkswagen T4, I used to keep it on above, and it used to fall down very, very frequently. In fact, once it fell to bits and it had to be put back together again. Now, another little thing which you might want to try is this. This is something I bought from Obi, which is a German hardware store. I bought this in Poland for approximately €5. Solar panel plus a light. Okay, it's a gimmick more than anything else. It's you may have seen some of my films of my Volkswagen T4 when I've had it parked at night, or even sometimes you can see it in some of the films during the day. And it gives a little bit of light, extra light when you're eating, cooking, something like that. It's not sufficient to read by, and if you do try and read by it, you're going to need thicker glasses than the ones I've got on right now. So there's a couple of ideas. Solar power is great, but it's not what many people think it to be. Solar power isn't the answer to the world's problems as it stands at present. Maybe sometime in the future it will be. It certainly isn't the answer to your camper van problems. It will charge your batteries though, but you need approximately 1 watt of solar power to each amp of battery that you've got. So if you've got an 80 amp battery, you're going to need at least 80 watts of solar charging into it. I haven't got that. The reason I haven't got that is because I haven't got the roof space. So, but I'm going to do a little bit about that at some other time. So I'll be coming back to that. What other choices have you got? You've got wind. Well, I don't know anybody who's actually used wind power and is happy with it. Apparently it makes a racket. You've got to get out the car, put the thing up, and what it generates isn't all that impressive. Next thing is a generator. The generator is the most efficient way of generating energy. But it makes a noise. And you know, if you're wild camping, or you're on a campsite somewhere, you know, getting out and putting your generator on is not the done thing, I think. I mean, if there's nobody else around, then that's fair enough. I mean, generators, even the best ones, make very little make little noise, but it is noisy. I was at the Düsseldorf Trade Fair in August 2012, and I saw some of the Honda ones, which are the top of the range models, and even then it was a fair bit of racket. Now, the next thing you can do is to adding batteries. This is not a solution. Many people think that they can add batteries to an existing setup. They cannot. The reason you cannot do it is that when you've got an old battery and you add new ones to it, the new ones will charge as the old ones do. So that when the charge is coming from the alternator, it's coming from the solar, or wherever it's coming from, it'll be a little bit for you, a little bit for you, a little bit for you, a little bit for you. But it's equal. So if you've got a 80 amp old battery and you put on a couple of 110 new ones, you're not going to generate for yourself 110 plus 110 plus 80. The very best you're going to get is 80 plus 80 plus 80. But if that 80 is already an old one, and it's only generating 60, you're going to get 60 times 3, 180. It's a waste of money. Don't do it. What you must do is you must replace the battery set completely. That's one solution. Second solution, what I did was I had, when I bought this vehicle, I had an 80 ampere hour battery, which saw to the things like the lighting. I put some extra plugs in, and the heating, blown air heating, and I added a separate non-connected 250 ampere hour battery, which is connected to the solar. Now, that way they're not connected, they will work independently of each other, and one is not going to drag the other one down. So if you're going to do something like that, then you can add, but only by in some kind of way like that. One problem that could be, however, from the alternator, if you try connecting an alternator to a large battery pack, you could blow the alternator. So that is an additional problem. I want to talk about solar later. I'm not going to do it today because I don't want to make this film too long. You're probably turned off by now already. But the thing which I very much believe in is to get the maximum power you can get from the from what nature and money is giving you. So I'll show you later my solar setup, and my great belief: go for quality, not quantity. I think I'll just finish this today by picking up my camera and taking you to the camera setup on the power setup on this vehicle here. So what we have here, for example, can you see that? That is the starter battery, which is running at 12.6, which is maximum, really. It's the maximum power you can get in the battery. And if I put this one here, it's on 13.25. That is utterly and absolutely full, and that was because I had it earlier on hookup, and the reason I had it on hookup because it was very it was snowing, and there was a pile of snow on the solar panel, the cheap solar panel, which is doing my 80 amp. So I thought I'd better put some hookup on it to clear that problem. But that gives you an idea. When the battery goes below 12 volts, you've got problems. Don't use it any longer. Let it charge. Batteries must be charged. A battery works best when it is fully charged. So keep it fully charged. Right, thanks very much, and I'll show you a little bit of my solar setup later.